Hello everyone. This is a quick overview of what you need to do for the second milestone analysis of learners for the Technology Integrated Curricular Plan. Teachers who make an impact know their students well. We need to know our students as learners and as people. As learners, we need to know their strengths and weaknesses, their learning styles and preferences, what they are good at and what they're struggling with. This will help us teach in a way that they will learn, our students, I mean. And then knowing our students as people involves getting to know their interests and hobbies, habits, their socioeconomic situatedness, and what's important to them. Knowing them as people will help us find ways to keep them motivated. Let's take a quick look at each section of the learner analysis that you're required to complete for the second milestone of the TICP. For the general characteristics, we should be thinking about what are the fixed and variable characteristics of our target learners. And for the students with special needs, include a description of possible students who may have special needs. Here are some links that you can use depending on the grade level that you teach. They provide some general descriptions of learner characteristics for different age groups. I've posted these links in the TICP2 section of the TICP companion website. When discussing your learners and their backgrounds, you should look up your district's website. That's a good place to start. The district's website will also provide demographic data on socioeconomic status, race, income, number of students receiving special education services, number of students receiving free reduced lunch, and so on. And then here are two more sites that you should that should really help you to collect that kind of data. And I've posted the links for both of these websites as well in the TICP2 section of the companion website. Now let's look at some examples. This student is listing the gender ratio. They have looked at the website citydata.com and here's the website that they're listing, citydata.com. To get some information of the information. They've also listed the socioeconomic information and the racial breakdown in the class. Then they list if they have any students with special needs in their classrooms. However, they needed to be more specific in listing the type of special needs for the students. And here's another example that lists the general characteristics, interests, and any students with special needs. The next section in the second milestone focuses on specific entry competencies. This is where you should be asking what pre-existing abilities, prior knowledge, and prerequisite skills do your target learners need in order to fully benefit from the lesson. Don't just say they're normal kids. You need to clearly identify the skills, both content related and technological, that they should have and state when they obtain those skills. Here's an example of prerequisite skills required for a unit on creating stories for a grade 12 English class. They've listed the competency or skills and when they were acquired, and they've listed both content competencies and technological skills that are needed for students to meet the objectives of this lesson. Now here's another example of prerequisite skills and competencies for a unit on music vocabulary for a grade 9 music class. The last section for TICP2 is regarding learning traits. And the questions that we should ask when completing this section are: what are the expected learning styles, information processing habits, and motivation of our targeted learners? We need to discuss the characteristics of Generation Z that we have talked about. All of these will be strongly determined, by the way, by their grade level. You need to consider the work of developmental theorists such as Piaget, Vygotsky, and Bandura's social learning theory on student motivation. Here's an example of the learning traits for high school seniors in an English class. We see in this that the student has focused on the characteristics of Generation Z as digital natives. They've also leveraged the concept of ZPD, the zone of proximal development by Vygotsky. That's a good example of how you can bring in these developmental theorists, and a well-referenced unit plan illustrates that it is research-driven. Here's another example of the learning traits for grade 9 students in a music class. The motivation, learning style, and the information processing habits related to the grade level and the content area are clearly identified. This completes the second milestone of the TICP. You may look at more examples of this section of the TICP in the samples provided in the TICP companion website. Good luck.